This is a reading for Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. This is an intuitive reading, which means that I read what is on the cards based on what I feel from them at the time, as well as their meanings. I've already shuffled the deck pretty well, so I'm going to go ahead and start reading the splits. The Page of Pentacles and the Ten of Swords comes up. The Page of Pentacles is grounded energy that is innovative. This can be a person who is beginning a new sort of task, but has a great deal of grounded energy and a really good imagination. It's good for if you are starting over. This can be a person around you. The Ten of Swords talks about a person who is coming to the end of a painful period of time. The individual is up and walking away from the typical image that is a person lying on the ground with swords in their back. I'll shuffle the cards a little bit more and pull the second split. Okay, we have the Knight of Wands and Temperance. This looks like there is someone who is a Sagittarius around you, because both of these cards are associated with Sagittarius. This is creative energy, creative fire. If you have Sagittarius in your chart, this could be a time when this sign is very strong. Temperance also talks about moderation and balance, which is sometimes needed with Sagittarius energy because they can get really sometimes carried away. So I will go ahead and shuffle the deck a little bit more and start the Celtic Cross reading. So let's see what is the heart of the matter for Aries. If you have Aries Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus, this reading is for you. So here is what is the heart of the matter. Oh, Aries energy. This is strong Aries energy that seems to be coming to the fore. This is good news for Aries because we have, some of us at least, been feeling sort of hung up, suspended, waiting for something to happen, unable to move. So this is a good card to see. Let's see what is crossing the Queen of Wands. Ah, the Three of Wands. We are at a point where the next wave is on its way. This is doubly good energy to see. And at the base of the reading is the Hierophant. I think that this signals that Aries has been on a spiritual journey in the past here. This is at the base of the reading, spiritual development. Things that we needed to work on, we have been working on for quite some time now. And in the recent past, we have the Lovers. This card is one of, as it would appear, relationships. These can be a physical relationship, an emotional relationship with another person. It can also be compassionately dealing with yourself and learning to love yourself. I think that it will be a little bit of both for most Aries out there, given what we've been going through in the past year or two. Now, coming into your consciousness, the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups is a messenger. In this case, this version of the card is a messenger of love, which is really exciting given that we have the recent past. Something, for some of you, this isn't supposed to be a love reading, but for some of you, this may actually be a proposal that is coming up in your very near future in March. So let's look into March and see in the future. Now, this card is where we have been for a while. So while I think this is simply a reminder that the things that we have been learning about ourselves have been very tough. And one of the things that I did in mid-February was I talked about Aries needing to get up and move and act. And I think this is a reminder that there are still things that we need to be tender with ourselves about, because a lot of hurt has happened over the past 2 years that is still affecting us in ways that, while yes, it is a good time to act, it is also a good time to be gentle with yourself and be sure that your energy is allowed time time to recover. And let's see what is Aries energy right now. Aries may still be feeling a bit defensive. The Seven of Wands is an energy that with your activities, you may be getting criticism from people or feel criticized by people. I think that this card is a good reminder that one of the things we need to be sure that we do is set up good boundaries with others, because sometimes we can think, well, do we need to please that person or do we need to please ourselves? And sometimes criticisms can be constructive, but when they start feeling like you need to put up your shields, that's the kind of criticisms that give you a clue that maybe you do need to take a little bit of extra time to yourself to work through your emotions. But this also says that you are in a strong place and moving forward in ways that you weren't before. So let's see what the environment surrounding Aries is. The environment is great. It is acclaim. It is a time when you may be rewarded for what you have accomplished so far. This can talk about work, recognition at work, recognition in life. This could be a success in something that you are working on. It's a good environment to be in. You have the opportunity to be successful and get recognized for it. And I know Aries likes that. I know, I do. Anyway, the thing that we fear or hope for, it's maybe a little bit of hope and fear, because I think some of us have become accustomed to being a little bit of a hermit over the past 2 years, just by sheer force of what has been going on in the world. And some of us have really learned to be solitary and enjoy our own company more than ever before. And so the hermit may be a hope. I still want to be left alone at times. And this could also be, I don't want to be alone. And that's where the Lovers is getting me the impression that we are pulling out of that cave a little bit. And this could be both a hope and a fear. We understand we need time to ourselves now, but maybe not too much time to ourselves, because some of us could be feeling a bit lonely. So let's see what the outcome is. A beautiful card. Now, Judgment is, in most cases, it is rebirth. It can be a time when an actual judgment has taken place as well. I intuitively feel that this is the rebirth type of judgment, that this is a situation where we've gone through this spiritual rebirth and we're coming out into ourselves in a different state. We are a different person than we used to be. So I'm going to pull another card for the future and what is ahead in March. The High Priestess. We are still going to be in our spiritual state. This can be, I associate this card with Pisces because of its energy of the moon. But this is a time when we will have high intuition, highly emotionally perceptive, and we are going to be able to go deep and do all of the healing that remains that we need to do. So I will pull one more card for the future, and once we have access to the High Priestess, what are we going to do next? This is an interesting card here. Some of us have Capricorn in our charts. That's the case with me. This is the thing that I think that we could be a little bit of a warning, though, because the devil can always be also things that are addictions, codependent relationships. So if any of you find yourself in a codependent relationship, this could be a warning about that. But this could also be strong Capricorn energy. So I'm actually going to pull yet another card and see what else. What does the devil have to do with this, and what is going to happen? Justice. So there could be something that we are seeking justice for that is related to some kind of codependent relationship that we've been in. And this could be what is tempting us back into a codependent relationship, but we finally find our way to justice and balance. And judgment and justice together tell me that there is going to be deep karmic balance, that it will be achieved for Aries in March. So let's look at the bottom of the deck, because I like to look at what is in the past, how we got here. And I'm going to look at a few cards. The Knight of Pentacles tells us that we have been getting more active and busy. And I'm going to lay these out here. The Knight of Pentacles is also a message that we have more work to do. The work is really, the Seven of Wands tells us that we are in a state where we are moving forward, but we are not done. There is more to be done. There's the Five of Cups. Some of us are still working through grief. Personally, I am working through some grief, and so I understand completely this card as well as the Four of Swords and why that is here, and the Hermit, because sometimes that is a state we go into ourselves and we look for, why is this happening? What is the real meaning behind things? And we can go into a spiritual reawakening because of grief. But we also have to process that grief. So some of us are processing grief. The beautiful thing about this version of the card is, though, that this individual who is looking deep into the moon, and the moon and the High Priestess here are related. The Hermit is also related because they've looked deep into their emotions and the things that they are grieving about. And what they see, and that's the moon energy at the bottom of this small pool that this fourth cup is in the process of beginning to spill into. The person knows now that there is hope because she is realizing that energy is not being spilled. She is pulling it into herself. What she is leaving behind are things that she needs to have either worked out, or she is leaving them behind because they no longer serve her, or she has integrated them in the process of the spiritual awakening. So that is a situation that many of us are in and have been in. The Eight of Pentacles, and I'm going to go back a few more cards. Let's see, where do I want to stop? Here's our Page of Pentacles that showed up. So I'm going to go back as far as that and see if I can see what, well, actually I will go further, because the Tower has been in the situation more than once in most of the readings for Aries. So the disruptions that have taken place in our lives over the past few years have been astonishing, really. I'm going to go ahead and put this down right here, because I would like to look at from the Tower on. This is the latest of the disruptions that this is talking about, and you will probably know what that was. What's strange about it is that we came out of this Tower moment with a sense that things were more in balance. So sometimes a Tower is a course correction that is needed, and that's what I see here. So we have had a course correction that was needed, and we also we learned something. We learned a truth that we did not understand, or we had a message, something that came to us that was important information. And that information was rather a wish fulfilled for us. So that put us in a slightly different and better situation. And so we were able to, I feel that for some of us, and this was true for me, there was a new start, a different direction. And so I became a bit an apprentice. I learned some new skills. Many of us are going to be in that situation in February. We're learning new things because things have moved in a different direction, one that we didn't necessarily anticipate, but it seems to have worked out well. However, there are still some things, and there could be someone around us as well who is not taking it well. Some of the things that are being held onto are the hurts. There are people who have their feelings hurt, or they're being given advice that they don't want, they don't feel that is appropriate for them. And the Four of Cups and Four of Swords are similar sorts of energies in different ways. You're withdrawing from people, you're withdrawing from the advice that people have to say to give you, and you are withdrawing from the world in order to heal. Now, one of the reasons for that was there was a conflict, and many of us have had some struggles and conflict which resulted from things in the past, might have been part of why the Tower happened. So this will depend on you, but you've been working this out. And this is the mental anguish that is caused by someone who will win at all costs. And that is probably not Aries, although we can be that way. But this was someone probably someone else, and this hurt you. And it put you in a situation where you had a lot of mental confusion about what you wanted to do next. The one thing you did know, however, was that you needed to do something to perfect some skills that you had, or take care of yourself and work on something that would give you a little bit more opportunity. And that is how. So we have been busy. We have been working through some grief. We have been perfecting some skills. We've had many choices, some emotional confusion, and that emotional confusion caused by the situation that was causing us stress. We have felt like not taking the advice of someone, but we have been in a bit of a beginner's situation. So I'm not reading this as people around you, because it seems all internal to Aries, except perhaps for the source of maybe the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords could be an Aquarius. So the Knight of Swords could be Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, or a part of your sign. So, but I think that was an external messenger. So the Knight of Swords, the messenger. The other players that could be here are a Libra. I say a Pisces for this. The Hermit can be a Virgo. Knight of Cups can be yet another Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. The Hierophant, who is sometimes associated with Taurus, and again, the Capricorn. So Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn can be the Knight of Pentacles. So what I want to do is really, I think I understand this reading pretty well. I really want to know what the Knight of Cups is, and that is an association with the Lovers, because that is something that could be an emotional message to you. It could turn this into a love reading for some of you, but it could simply be a message of compassion and kindness and care, and just someone being sweet to you. That is entirely possible. So I do want to, I want to know what the devil is in the future here. So what is the devil? What is the devil, please? The Knight of Pentacles. So that's interesting. So that, the Knight of Pentacles. Now, that means that it is Capricorn. So it's a Capricorn around you. And so this could be someone who is coming into your future. And how is that to affect you? Ten of Swords. The Capricorn is not the source of the hurt, but it is one of the things that is going to have you walking away from. And that's the thing that we saw in the splits. We saw you walking away from hurt. So there's something with the Capricorn that is going to heal you. You may have a Capricorn in your past, and they may be a source of kindness to you or comfort. How so? What is the situation? Is there more that I need to know about this? Because I'm curious now. I have a Capricorn in my past, so I think I know what this is talking about. So for me, I know what it is, but in general, what is this Capricorn? What is the reason for this? So the Knight of Pentacles here, and that's in the past, and this could be talking about the same person, because this could have been a message about something. It might be associated with some activity that you have been participating in. It could be a friend, a partner, a coworker, someone from your past, friend. So what is the Capricorn's part in this? That's a lot of cards. Well, we saw the Empress energy, Six of Pentacles and Six of Swords. Oh, okay. Well, it's definitely to do with healing and walking away, because the Six of Swords and the Empress, this is something something very spiritual, something very creative. So it's energy of creation and manifestation. It is the Six of Pentacles. It is to do with balance in the material sense, the ability to give and to receive. And the Six of Swords, which is moving further away from the Ten of Swords situation. So that's, as read, this is a healing situation, and someone is going to possibly help be instrumental in that for you. So let's see what justice, is that what the Justice is about? And they might be righting a wrong at some point that someone has done. So the Capricorn could be someone that is helping you with a situation where you do need that justice and that balance to be restored. And that is going to happen because these are the cards of balance and justice. Excellent. You will probably know who this is or what this is about. So let's see if we can find out one more thing, which is the Knight of Cups. What is the Knight of Cups about here? And then I will draw one more card for advice for Aries. Okay, several cards. So the Moon, Four of Pentacles, and Four of Swords. So here we have the Four of Swords. And something that the Knight of Cups is going to tell you. The Moon came out first. The Moon is hidden. It's emotional. It's Pisces. This could be a Pisces, and they're going to tell you something emotional. The Four of Pentacles is to do with resources, and it can be a feeling of not having enough, and it could be, so it's something that moves you into this healing state or this needing to rest. So something, some message, some hidden message, some thing about resources, and this can be, I'm going to have to think about this for a second. So let's ask how so. What is the Four of Pentacles, Four of Swords, and the Moon about with the Knight of Cups? So we know it's leading to that situation. So, well, that's obvious, but how so? What is the hidden thing? What is the hidden thing about? That doesn't feel right. Oh, it's healing. So this is two things. This is great joy. Let's see what's at the bottom. There's a Seven of Swords. Deception or something hidden. In this case, it does not feel like deception. It feels like something hidden. And the Sun, something hidden will be revealed. So the Knight of Cups is coming to you with an emotional message, and the Moon is something hidden as well as emotional. And it might be something that you did not know about them. Again, this is something hidden. And this is going to really put you into a state of, I need to know more, because this is puzzling me now. This is what happens. I get into these readings, and I find things that are mysteries, and it's just, you dig and you find, what in the world? So, okay, I'm going to put these cards back in the deck, and I'm going to ask this a different way. In this case, what is the Knight of Cups message? I know it's hidden. Tell us more. So something is going to really spur you into this needing to recover. Now, an emotional message. It doesn't feel like it's a negative thing, but it does feel like it's something that you need to know that you did not previously know, that kind of shakes you up. So tell us more, please. What do we need to know about the message from the Knight of Cups? What is the Knight of Cups? Something worrying. Why? How so? Why is the Nine of Swords? So they come to you, and what they tell you causes you to worry or makes you anxious. Okay, there's 3 cards. At the bottom is the Knight of Cups. Okay, there's 4 cards. Some truth. Wait, there's a lot of cards here. So let's see if we can figure this out. Okay, it is a good thing. It is light shining on something. It is also happy. Now, why the Nine of Swords? The Queen of Cups, Justice. It has to do with justice. The Knight of Cups. Okay, it's the Knight of Cups. It's something to do with the Knight of Cups. So, the Queen of Cups, emotional compassion, a compassionate, emotional person. So this definitely could be a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. And there's justice and truth. And Nine of Pentacles talks about justice and truth and really an independent. So they are also involved in this situation with justice. How so? Okay, one more try. So given that we know that the Capricorn is helping you reach balance, this is a Capricorn, and it's something to do with the Ten of Swords and the Knight of Pentacles. So we know that there are 2 individuals here that are doing something. So this one I understand. I understand that they are coming to you with information that will help you get justice or resources, or something like that. So it could be resources that you need. At the Knight of Cups, the message has something to do with personal independence. And what? And great joy. So it is a positive message, and maybe this Four of Swords, but it seemed to be connected with the Four of Swords. Maybe it shocks you so much that it just kind of knocks you off your feet for a while. So let's get a little bit more. No, I'm not clearer. Okay. How so? There's the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles are both the message. So it's something to do with the work that you're doing, someone that is involved. These 2 people might know each other. And so these 2 people might be between 2 individuals. I think they're both going to be helping you. So how so? I think Aries is maybe learning to trust people and ask for help. That seems to be, what is it that these 2 individuals are going to do in March for Aries? What is that? Because that is becoming clearer. Okay. Okay, there's the Lovers. And healing. And healing. And here's the Page of Swords. Now, the Page of Swords, this is very interesting. So, hope and healing. Something is going to happen between these two people. It's going to get you to the truth. There's a Four of Pentacles, the Magician, the Devil, the Two of Pentacles, and the Ace of Wands. So there are some truths coming out here, and there may be some things that you don't know about a couple of people around you that you're going to find out more about. Page of Swords, this is an inquisitive person. Okay, so any advice for Aries? I'm getting the feeling that you and the Knight of Cups might actually be a thing. And it would either be you and the Knight of Cups, and the Knight of Pentacles might have something to do with this as well. So who knows? Maybe it's one and the same. Maybe it's a different aspect of the same person. But whatever, truth, you get the truth. And there is this happiness. So the Three of Cups. There are two people involved in something that affects your happiness, Aries. These are your friends. These people have your best in mind. That seems clear. I hope you can make something of this. I know that when I started looking at those individuals, I have only one more question. The High Priestess, is this Aries or is this another individual? Eight of Pentacles. Well, we saw the Eight of Pentacles here in the past. The High Priestess is something to do with perfecting skills. It is you. It is Aries. Okay. Is there anything else? And I got a little funny tickling feeling that there is something else. What else does Aries need to know for March? And you definitely get bonus points for getting this far in the reading, because this is just one of those things. Sometimes the clarifiers take a while. So what else is it that Aries needs to know? Tell me. Show me. Show me what else Aries needs to know. Well, this card came out. You're going to have a choice. I think this might be why you're resting. There is a choice coming up. And the Two of Wands talks about you've already made a change. You've already made a change in path because of the Tower. And oh, what else do we have here? We have our Hermit. The Hermit was peeking out. So you're going to have something else to think about. That's why you're going into the Four of Swords. There's something else you need to think about. And we saw the Nine of Pentacles, which talks about a path that might be opening for you that is self-made person. And that is going to bring you back to this acclaim. So you could be setting out on a different path and improving your expertise in a new thing. This is making me get chills now. The gist of it is you have people around you who are going to help you be instrumental in making your way into a path of your own choice into the future that looks like it could be on your own. And the Nine of Pentacles that came up when the Ten of Swords and the 4 and 4, we're talking about you have had insecurities as far as your resources are concerned that have made you a bit afraid to go off on your own path. And that path might be becoming more and more attractive to you because you're building your skills in such a way that you will be able to move that direction. And these people, this Capricorn energy of the Knight of Pentacles and the Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio energy of the Knight of Cups, are things that are going to help you. And I would say that your partner is possibly, if you have a mate or a life partner of some sort, or just a really, really good friend, that person is likely involved. That person is likely this Knight of Cups. Doesn't have to be Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Could be the Capricorn. So it could be the same person. But don't discount the power of your friends to help you when you are in a point where you don't really know what to do. You've had a situation where you were emotionally confused about what to do next. You can reach out for help if you need it. And it looks like to me that the future is very bright, and you're going to get the justice, you're going to get the acclaim. You will be much happier in March, and you will be much more active as well. And I know that makes most Aries really happy. And there is where I will leave it. Thank you very much.